Hey everyone, this is Patricia and I'm excited to be here at Hip Kit and sharing my first video with you guys. I wanted to show you a couple of cards. I've never done a video on cards before, so this is a little different for me. But I wanted to do 3 different cards and with lots and lots of leftovers of the February kit. And I usually do my cards in, I believe it's an A2 size. It's the whole size is 8.5 by 5.5, and then you score it at 4 1/4. So I'm going to start with that. I usually do use white. It's always a good base, and I like to fold my crease really well, so I'm going to use that bone folder right there. I have done other color cardstock, but white usually is better for cards. It gives you a little bit more flexibility. I love, love, love that Heidi Swap washi tape that's in the kits. So I really wanted to do a background with it, and I'm going to lay these out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a weave with the washi tape. And you basically do above and under, and you rotate those rows. So if you did above on the previous row, then you start on the next row going under that first strip. And it does sound kind of confusing, but if you've done a weave before, you'll know that what I'm talking about. And so I'm just going to kind of get that weave going, and then I'm going to trim all those ends off. And if you looked really, really closely, it's not perfect, and that's okay with me. I'm fine with that. Some of the spacing is a little off. Now I'm going to use some of these rub-ons, My Mind's Eye that's in the kit, and they go on really, really smooth. I want to apply this to the card some kind of way, but I'm going to use a piece of this vellum that's also from the kit. So I'm going to go ahead and rub that on there, and if you notice, my leftover rub-ons I just staple onto the packaging so that they don't go flying everywhere. So now that I've got the rub-on here, I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut that out and decide where I'm going to place that on the card. The card background has a lot going on. It's a lot of pattern, which I just love that washi tape. There's a lot going on, so I don't want too much more on here. And since I have the gold hearts, I'm going to go with that gold hello from the Crate Paper chipboard. And a little bit of ephemera from the My Mind's Eye packet. So much left over in this kit. I can make so many more layouts, Project Life, and cards with this. And I really like the look of this flower. It's a solid color, and since the washi tape has a lot of different colors, I'm going to apply that there to the corner to add just a little pop of a solid color to this card. The next card is going to be a totally different look, and I'm really liking the black and white pattern papers from the 6x6 We Are memory pads, or pad, that's in the embellishment kit. Now I measured that to fit the front card, which is 4 1/4. So I trim those pieces. I'm going to adhere those and then just trim the ends off. Another idea would be to add watercolor to this very neutral pattern paper, but I wanted to keep it this color. I wanted to keep it pretty neutral, just with the pattern. I'm going to bring in some more of the My Mind's ephemera, the Evalicious badge, and puffy sticker. And I have these old Lily Bee stamps. It was from her last collection. And of course, that's one collection I just can't get rid of. I miss Lily Bee. So this stamp is perfect because this card is going to be for my brother. And I am not sure exactly where I'm going to place this or how it's going to look. So I'm using that piece of vellum to kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. And then I'm going to use my pencil and just bring that vellum down a little bit and mark the brow part. so that I can duplicate that exact same stamping onto the card. And then once I have that, I can go ahead and add my stamping and then do some erasing. When I do stamping, I like to stamp onto a soft pad to get a nice, crisp, clean image. And I like to use these little Emmy Tangerine stitching pads. They're perfect size, and they just make your stamping look really crisp. No parts of your image not coming out right. So I like to do that. Now I'm trying to decide, I think I'm going to add some stitching all around this. And I did. I added some gray stitching, and I didn't connect the corners. I went all the way down one row, stopped, and then started another row. And I'm a little picky about my stitching if you can see the other side. So I thread my bobbin with the same exact color so that you can see the same thread color. Now I'm going to do like a little marionette and Amelie little technique here. I'm not really a nesting type of person with the floss or the thread, but this card just really was calling for it. So I took a little piece of that thread that I stitched with, made a little nest, and then I'm going to use my ATG here and adhere that down. I brought in that other little heart that's from the My Mind's Eye ephemera, and it's just the right amount of colors. It pulls in that really pretty lime green. And I'm going to pull in a little bit more ephemera here. Since that top pattern paper has those triangles, I think the triangles really look good here. It adds a little bit of the black, kind of gives it a little bit more pop, a little bit more texture. And I just added a little bit more stitching to this after I added another piece of Heidi Swapp washi tape. I just really love that washi tape. And again, I just really think the colors go really well overall with the whole card here. So I went ahead and added that and added a little bit more stitching over that. And that's my second card. This next card, I'm going to go another route. And I want to use a technique that I did on my first layout here with HipKit, using this Dear Lizzie stencil. And basically what I did is I'm going to trace it and then color it in. Now I'm going to use the same size card, but pink cardstock this time, and use a leftover piece of white cardstock. I'm going to use that washi tape here to just tape everything down and keep it still. I would usually use a permanent marker of some kind. This Le Pen is good, or American Crafts, even a Sharpie. But I'm going to be a little bit different here, and I like to try different things. I like to just see how they look and just have fun with it. So I'm going to use this gold Sharpie. It's a little bit thicker point than what I would like, but I'm going to go with it and see what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and stencil that in as best I can. You're not going to be able to get every single little mark in there, but just try your best and go through and make sure that you get at least enough of the detail that you can see it. And now I'm going to pull out some watercoloring. I have these pens, these water pens that I'd gotten from Michael's ages ago, and I love these things. They're the best investment I ever made. I have one in a broad tip and have one in a fine tip. I use a baby wipe to just kind of clean the tips off. If they're really bad, I will just add soap and water and clean them off. But I'm going to use a little bit of watercolor and lighten that up a little bit. Start painting in and filling in while the stencil is still in place. But I'm also going to start bringing in some of the pink paint that came in the kit and some of the pretty bubblegum or hot pink mist that came in the kit. And I'm going to start mixing and blending colors here. And I really have no idea what I'm doing. And this is when I just love this kind of stuff. It's just fun because you're just playing. You know, you're like a little kid coloring. And it's okay to not know. And if the outcome doesn't come out the way you like it, you can start over. But you can also do what I'm doing and just start blending more colors and just kind of get the look and the feel that you want. And there's really no right or wrong with this kind of stuff. It's really, really fun. I am definitely not an expert at it, but I just like to do it. So anyway, I'm going to just keep blending and mixing in some colors. I have no idea how this is going to look on the card or how it's going to be, but I'm just going to keep adding. And now it's time to kind of take that off and see how it looks. And so far it's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill in a little bit more. And I'm not going to color inside the lines. With watercolors like this, and using the mists and the paint as watercolors, it's really fun to just go all over. Don't worry about staying inside the lines. And you can see in a little bit with that, one of the flowers, I'm going to even go a little bit more outside of the lines. As I change colors, I use my baby wipe. Usually, like I said, that is enough to change that color so that I don't have a mix of colors. Especially if you're going to go from like a blue to a red or something like that. You don't want purple. So you want to make sure your tip is clean. And I'm going to continue blending and having fun with this. This was really a lot of fun to do this. I love this technique. I had seen this technique before that someone else had done. And, you know, if you see something that you like, it's okay to try it and make it your own. You don't want it to be an exact copy. Just make it your own and have fun with it. And I really love how that came out. So now what I did is I fussy cut all that out, and then I have my mat here so that I can do some fussy cutting on the inside with the craft knife. I like how it looks. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the base of my card. Trim those ends off. And now I want to add some of the enamel dots to the center of the large flower. This is really a fun card. I had no idea how it was going to come out, but I liked it, and I like that it's girly. I'm thinking this was definitely a card for my daughter or for someone's birthday, one of my sisters. And I'm going to add this little corner piece left over from the We Are Memory Keepers pad. I stitched that, and then I'm going to kind of roll up those ends, adhere that to that, and use this painted piece of wood veneer and add that to the corner there. The last thing I added was another piece of vellum from the kit. I just trimmed that to fit along the edge, and then just trimmed the edges to fit and stitched that into place. Just to add a little bit of softness and a little bit of texture there to go with the theme of the card. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I have enjoyed being with the members and the team so much. There's so much talent here in this place, and there's a lot of energy, and I just love it. Thank you so much.